People were killed and dozens injured in Nepal after protests erupted over a social media ban. Protesters stormed the parliament complex in the country's capital after lawmakers issued bans on platforms that had failed to register and allow for government oversight. CBS News correspondent Chanel Call is following the story for us from the CBS News Broadcast Center. And Chanel, what is the latest on all of this?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tension and anger around that social media ban, Mugo. A really fluid situation in Nepal's capital city, Kathmandu, today. I want to show you some video from the scene so you can see the real size and scope of these protests. We're talking about tens of thousands of people that took part in this, many of them young people in the country. And they were seen, Mugo, pushing through barbed wire, pushing through barricades, and then storming the Nepalese parliament building. Now, at first, police were there. They tried to fire tear gas. They used water cannons, but they were simply outnumbered by this massive crowd there. Eventually, they had to resort to using force, the commissioner's office says, opening fire at some of those protesters. So we know, latest count, that at least 17 people were killed and 145 people were wounded in those clashes, Mugo. That also includes 28 police officers. So what's happening here? Well, at issue is the Nepalese government's decision to now block a lot of social media platforms in the country. That's what these people are protesting against. Now, some in the crowd were actually heard chanting, "Stop the ban on social media, stop corruption, not social media." So the government is saying that it sent about 24 social network platforms that are used in Nepal notices last week that what they had to do was now register their companies in the country and also submit to some government oversight. The government is saying they're doing this to sort of safekeep social media companies. TikTok, Viber, and 3 other platforms we know did do that. They did comply with those notices. So right now, they are still available in Nepal. But the companies that did not do this, including Facebook, X, and YouTube, those have now been blocked. So this is all stemming from a bill that the government says is made to sort of ensure that social media platforms are, quote, properly managed, responsible, and accountable. That bill, Mugo, also includes asking those companies to now appoint some kind of liaison officer or a point person in the country. But critics are saying that this is actually sort of a tool for censorship. So again, the situation on the ground still very fluid, still very tense this hour. A lot of chaos around this. The government also now announcing a curfew around some key areas in the country, including, of course, the Parliament building and the presidential house.
All right. Shalom. I like to say, call low while I was all President Gordon Hebert. I hope Bashem Yamshai Bashem Kwakadash. Double on supposed to great Muslim, but God, you like few sisters and Israelite foreigners that's waking up to the truth. Okay. Just want to start the video off saying fair use. Fair use. It's a non-profit video that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't making no money off of it. Just educational purposes only. All right. Yeah, just a quick disclaimer. This is a news update. Just recently happened, I think actually yesterday. All right, it's breaking news. What's happening over there in France? All right. You got people protesting due to social media bans. All right, as you just saw from the video. All right, which explained everything. All right, then people over there tripping because, you know, the platforms have been canceled. All right, because social media, those certain particular platforms, they did not let basically the government intervene and regulate them, you know, due to the fact that the government has certain guidelines now because they're looking out for slander of, you know, the government being, you know, talked about. All right. So those platforms, certain particular platforms got, you know, shut off. All right. From the public. All right. And mind you, you know, people went haywire because social media, the internet, is the new cable. All right. Nobody watches TV. Nobody watches no TV shows no more. Everything's on the internet, man. Okay. People do everything through the internet. People make money off the internet now. You know what I'm saying? You got so many people that became millionaires, some billionaires, just off social media alone. That goes to show you how important the internet, having access to the internet is. All right. You know, it's funding people's lifestyles right now. Okay. And then, you know, so many people are influenced due to social media now. You know, this presidency, it was played a big role in, you know, it played a big role as far as, you know, who's going to be elected in office, right? So the internet, social media is very, very vital, all right, in people's lives in this day and time. Okay, so that's why people lost their shit, you know. And then that social media shit, it can be addictive. All right, people be so fascinated by it that, you know, they don't want to, you know, get off of it. They're on there all day, you know. Which from, you know, just speaking on myself, I can see how, You know, it can be, addictive like that. All right. And then especially for these women, you got all these women online getting attention from all these dudes. All right. But mind you, that these dudes, they just want to smash them. They want to have sex with them. They look at them as a piece of meat. They don't know this woman from anything, a can of paint. But yet this whole thinking, like, all these dudes want to wife them up. And, you got a lot of them do. But a lot of these guys that giving her attention, these women attention, she finds them disgusting. She don't want them to do them. She doesn't find them attractive. Women are turned off by tricks and simps. Okay, women naturally, it's in their nature, it's in their DNA. They want a man that's masculine, dominant. All right, it's gonna put them in their place. All right, that don't see the woman as their equal. All right, that's why a lot of the Poogies and Ray Rays and the Chads and the Brads, they be getting all the girlies because they put women in their place a lot of times, and as far as sexually. And also, the only thing is, like, a lot of them Chads and a lot of them got money too, though. A lot of them got money too, but they can't get the Chads and the Brads and Tyrones to commit because them dudes are too busy. Them dudes are on a mission. They matter of fact, they value themselves more than they value her. That's the real reason why. All right, and then that's another reason why the women find him so attractive. The fact that he sees himself, he puts himself over them. He doesn't value himself more than being in a relationship with her. All right. And yeah, man, you just gotta keep women on a short leash, like the scriptures say. But anyway, going back to the point, yeah, man, this whole thing is set up a ruckus amongst the people of France, and yeah, it's causing government buildings get burned down. The prime minister, the nigga, I think his wife got killed, some shit like that. So like, don't quote me on that. I gotta do more reading on it. But the point being is, this 2 Ezra 9th chapter, where it says uproars of the people, and we're definitely seeing that live in effect. Okay, every day is something new happening as far as the prophecies in the news. Okay, but we waiting on the ultimate prophecies, the last two major prophecies to happen, which is World War III and the Mark of the Beast. Which World War III, which literally is the last prophecy, is not going to happen before the chip comes, as the apostle said. All right, this man has to issue this chip to our society, and then the World War III is going to happen. Like, we that close. Once the dudes start pushing the chip on people, I mean, saying, like, to the point where it says, like, listen, you can't even be counted as a civilian in society unless you have this chip. That's when the Lord is, like, he literally at the door, man. World War III is gonna happen any day from there on. All right, I mean, that man, you literally count down the minutes. All right, once he started making the chip mandatory, like, you forget about it. It's like Apostle said, man, within the first couple months, man, that shit ain't not gonna drag out to no damn year. You can believe that. If this nigga start chipping people, they're saying it's, man, you have to take it. Like, you can just literally count down probably like 2 months, 3 months, and he's not gonna have it long. He's not gonna have, because the Lord said he shall fill his belly when he's about to eat. That's when the Lord gonna come to him. So basically, when this man think he got everything set in order, all right, you got to start chipping people. You got to make it where he obsolete physical cash, and got everybody taking MOTV. Yeah, the Lord's gonna let him think he has it, think he has everything locked in for a quick minute, but then that's when the Lord gonna disappoint him. And like I said, that's when the Lord, he's gonna enter into this realm along with the angels and stuff like that and take his ass down. All right, but like I said, I'll keep going off the topic. I'm gonna get these 2 scriptures and close it out. Yeah, man, this is like I said, the social media platforms didn't want to get regulated by the government, but the government do as an excuse to cut people off, cut the public eye off from social media. What really they want to do is censorship and can take control of the internet, because too much truth is coming out. That's what it really is. Too much truth coming out, and platforms like TikTok and X and stuff like that. They're not under certain guidelines of YouTube where they cutting off certain speeches where there are certain topics you can't talk about. No, anything goes on there. It's a wild, wild west on certain platforms. You can say whatever, and you can say whatever on there. All right, and that's too much freedom. It's too much influence. It's too much of a risk of being, the image of Babylon or these other governments. Putting our airing out their business. They can have a woke public. All right. The public is everything. The people is everything. All right, having them on your side is everything. You can't even stay in power without the 99 being on your side. All right, but anyway, I typed this in. All right, I said, well, because it's another reason why the people are in an uproar. It ain't just them cutting off the internet, but this is a buildup, right? I typed in Google, why is Nepal? Let me see. Why is Nepal government corrupt, right? Shit, go back. And it says, type in Google AI overview. It says Nepal's government is perceived as corrupt due to the entrenched system of patronage. This is like, I'm saying it right. Patronage. I don't know why I ain't saying this right. Patronize, I think. Favoritism and public procurement, embezzlement of public funds, which are all celebrated by political elites engaging in self-serving practices and maintain lavish lifestyles while the country youth faces unemployment in limited countries. Recent social media ban was a catalyst, but it's highlighted years of public frustration and political perceived as corrupt and concerned with the welfare of their citizens, leading to recent protests and resignation of prime ministers. Yeah, so people they're upset. All right, that these self-absorbed bastards, self-centered assholes. All right, they're taking the tax money and spending it on themselves. All right. And people are not happy about that. Okay, and this is a very telltale sign, or one of the telltale signs that a kingdom is on its way out, or a ruler is on his way out, is when they stop putting the people first. Okay, because like I said, the public is everything. All right, the public is how you stay in power, is how you maintain in power, is how you get riches and services. A kingdom cannot stand without the services of the people. Okay, through the trade and the transactions of a particular service being done, and like there's a switch of resources and a switch of labor being done in order for that person to have all these lavish things. For example, all right, if you got money, you got a big ass house, right? You yourself is not going to clean that house every day or whatever, how many times the house needs to be cleaned. You already have, you have a mansion that has X amount of square feet that's fucking long. You're not going to take the time out of your day to clean that whole fucking entire house, which is going to take probably more than a day. You got a huge ass mansion. You're going to need people to keep it maintained. You're going to have people to do that for you. All right, because you can't be in every place, every time in every place like that, man. You can't. You exhaust yourself. So what do you do? A rich person has servants, man, to take care of those type of tasks. All right, where he continues to stay focused on running his business, his company, or doing what he doing. All right, that takes a load off him or her. Well, no, him. Men supposed to have power and riches. Yeah. So yeah, people are mad about that, man. All right. That's a ticking time bomb right there. Underlying factors and perceptions, patronize and corruption. There are persistent reports of public funds being diverted for personal gain and well-connected companies receiving preferential treatment in government contracts. See, they shitting on the people. All right, they're taking advantage of the people. That's why you're getting mad. Public Elite Lifestyle Nepal Kids campaign on social media drew attention to the opulent opponents' lifestyles of children and unruly politicians, starkly contrasting with the struggles of ordinary Nepalese and fueling discontent. Like I said, man, they are being selfish. All right, they being selfish to the people. So the people reacting, and just how the devil at work, man. He speak up wickedly concerning oppression. He expect you for him to. He can just rob you in plain sight, right in front of your face, and you're not supposed to react or say anything towards it, man. You're just supposed to be a mindless zombie slave and be content with it. It's a lack of opportunities, economic opportunities, high youth unemployment and underdeployment led many young people to seek work abroad, contributing to a sense of hopelessness and resentment towards the government for failing to create opportunities at home. So they ain't got the people ain't got the jobs to support themselves. So what's the old saying about an idle person, right? It's gonna come out of that. Gonna come wickedness, all right? Lack of accountability, and it's the devil's playground. That's the old saying. Idle mind is the devil's playground. And, in other words, nothing but wickedness, or evil thoughts gonna come to your head. Wicked thoughts, nothing good, nothing productive, gonna come to your mind. All right. We ain't got nothing to do. Anyway, bored. And lack of accountability. Widespread criticism exists over the government's failure to prosecute major corruption cases and the pervasive culture of impunity that undermines the federal laws, according to the Human Rights Watch. Yeah, so this man going against his own laws. All right. This government in France, he's not practicing what he's preaching, and people see it. So you expect somebody else to fall in line under the laws that's created, but you're not doing it your damn self. California recent protests, social media ban. The government decides to ban social media platforms in September 2025, following deadline for resignation, sparked significant protests, shifting dissent. Critics accuse the government of using ban to suppress anti-corruption campaigns, further aging population that felt unheard and frustrated by the ruling elite. Violent and political chaos. Protests quickly escalating to violent clashes, political unrest, with protests storming and parliament of government buildings, ultimately contributing to the prime minister's resignation. So they ran that dude out of the damn office. Let me see who the prime minister of Nepal. Yep. Prime Minister of Nepal. Who the fuck is it? KP Sharma. This dude. So it's this dude. He's the prime minister of Nepal. Shit. And that guy he's in the elite's pocket, man. All right. That nigga's juiced in. He's on the other side, taking orders. Let me see. Let me get these scriptures. Shit. Did I have them lined up? Damn, where the fuck? Sly guy. I'll take them down. Fuck. What scriptures I had lined up? Let's see. Damn, I'm trying to remember the scriptures I had lined up. I'm gonna get that one. I know which one I'm gonna get. to use this one. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. Let me see if I can get this in the NLT. Get a different breakdown. Or Good Living Translation, one of them. Why is it showing like that? Fuck. Okay, this is from the Good News Translation. It says, a wise ruler will educate his people, and his government will be orderly. All the officials and all the civilians will be like their ruler. Right, so if you got a good ruler, you're gonna have good people, because a good ruler is gonna set the bar for what is, expected, how society should be ran, and how people should behave and do things. An uneducated king will ruin his people, but a government will grow strong if its rulers are wise. The Lord sees to the government of the world and brings the right person to power at right time. The success of that person is the Lord's hand, and the Lord is the source of the honor given to any official. Yeah, so the Lord, he's the one that's allowing this caveman to be in this position to ruin the earth, all right, to bring about Yahushua's high demand and him coming back. He's going to fix everything, okay? If you ain't got a problem, right, if you ain't got nothing that's needs to be fixed, all right, when something breaks down, or my fault, it's something that never breaks down, then you don't need a person to come in and solve the issue. All right. So you need supply and demand, the basic understanding, the principles of business, supply and demand, right? So yeah, man, this man is destroying the people, and therefore there's going to be a revolution. There's going to be what do they call that? Damn, it's like I'm trying to think. Yeah, people are just gonna turn against the government. That's it. And this thing that's happening in Naples. It's like
Have you ever heard content?
Yeah, the thing that's happening in Naples, all right, it's going to continue happening throughout the world, and this is just a judgment of Heavenly Father, man. He's not playing, okay? You people are going to, the future ain't looking bright for you, basically, and especially you Edomites, all right? You can't turn things back to what you perceive as normal. This place was never normal over here in Babylon, America. It was never normal for the Israelites. All right, it was a one-sided thing, and yeah, man, the Lord about to turn things upside right. All right, take these devils out of power. All right, yeah, man, just rejoice in these times. These are scary times, and there are, dangerous times. We still supposed to, rejoice in the Lord, because we have hope in the Lord. All right, and we got faith. All right. With that, I'm going to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Rashad, the Mountains, Positive, Blessed, Blessed, Shit.